Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to Masterful Mornings. Hi, Joyanne. So, thank you once again for joining me. And this morning, we're going to be talking about um, taking some steps towards finding and being inspired to find your purpose and how you can do that. So today's live is just about giving you some questions to ask yourself, to really start to reflect on, to go into some introspection. Now, when we do this, when we look for our purpose, when we ask, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to be helping people? How am I supposed to be helping myself? Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Who am I? We ask a lot of these types of questions, and they're like universal questions. You're not the only one asking these questions. I think we all ask these questions. Good morning, Janet. So, the first thing you have to think about is the word yes. When we think about what we are capable of or what we should be doing, immediately our inner critic gets involved and there comes a lot of roadblocks. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't even know how to do that. I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. What makes me think I'm good enough to do that? So we think a lot of these things and we immediately put obstacles in front of ourselves. We immediately put walls up, and these walls are from fears and from experiences, from how we perceive the world, and they're not real. Okay, that's the first thing to understand. Our fears are not real. Many of them are from memories or things that we have experienced. But if you bring yourself into this present moment as if those things never happened, you would find that those fears are not real. And you need to go into that mind space. We've all done this where we've been afraid to do something, whether it's at work or our parents ask us to do things or our kids want us to do things or, our friends want us to get involved in things like, oh, let's go whitewater rafting or let's go mountain climbing or something. And you're like, okay, but you've got this fear, right? But then when you go and you do it, you find like, I don't know what I was so scared about. Like, that's fine. Right. And we've all had these moments in our lives where you thought you were afraid of something, but once you stepped into it, you found like there was nothing to be afraid of. Okay. Most things are not going to just fall into your lap. You may need to do some prep work to get to that purpose. And it might not be super clear at the beginning. When I think about when I started walking my path, when I'd gone through a lot of healing, which I still do, when I went, I think it's an forever thing. When I got over the biggest hump of my healing work that I did and started looking into my purpose, first of all, started becoming evident as I was doing my work. But secondly, I had the same fears. Who do I think I am that I can go help people? Right? Who do I think I am that I can go run workshops in other countries? Who do I think I am? Why do I think that I can do this? Right? I'm not famous. I'm not a big celebrity, right? So I'm not like a bazillionaire. What makes me think that I can do this? So yeah, I had those same fears that everybody has, but I knew in my heart of hearts that I could do it. So I took my steps to do it. I said yes. Right? So you have to learn to say yes. That's the first thing, is saying yes. How do you find your purpose? It's by allowing yourself. It's by saying yes. It's by putting your fears aside and saying, if I could imagine anything in my world, myself doing it, and I could just snap my fingers and there was no obstacles in my way, there was nothing in my way, no fears, what would I want to do? What do I feel like I could be doing? Even if it means that you're going to study, even if it means you need to go take some workshops and learn something. So let's take all of that out of the picture for a second, because that's all things to get you there. when you think about your purpose and you take everything out of the way and you give yourself that moment to play, that playground of imagination, and you just go into that playground like you did when you were a kid. Remember, when we were kids and we went into our imagination, we could do anything. We could be anyone. We could be anywhere at any time. So you still have that imagination. You just use it for other things. Like, oh, I have to plan dinner tonight. I got to plan this event. When we're still using our imagination. But I want you to think about using your imagination like this playground. Okay, so I'm a hypnotherapist. And part of what I do, and I do a lot of shamanic work and journeying with people and a lot of things, that imagination, that playground, I got people in there all the time. Okay, so that playground is a wonderful place to create, to become inspired. Okay, so now I want you to move into that playground and think that there's nothing in your way. Just like that kid, that little child who used to go into their playground, there is nothing in your way. You're just going to snap your fingers, and what appears in front of you? What is your heart telling you that you can do? It doesn't matter whether you know how to do it or not. I want you to think about, what does that feel like for you? What could you be doing? And when you allow yourself that, your purpose starts to come out. Your purpose starts to take form. You may not get all the answers right away, but you start to have an inkling, a feeling in your gut that, yeah, I would love to be able to do that. But then don't go into the but after that. Good morning, Janet and Perry. Don't go into the but after that of, oh, but this and that, but I've got this, and but I got that, and oh no, I can't do it because of that. I don't want you to think that way. Try not to think that way. Getting into our path and purpose is not always an easy thing. Sometimes we have to give up something to get something. For instance, I had a very successful bookkeeping and accounting business. I was a solopreneur. My client list was full. I was working. I was making money. I could go buy anything I wanted. I could do anything I wanted. When my path came in front of me, I had a choice to make. And I don't have a secondary income. I'm a single woman. And I'm like, okay, this is all on me now. If I make this choice to do this, I could end up in a refrigerator box on the side of the street. That was my fear. I was so afraid to step into my purpose, to step into that. My purpose is to be a catalyst. I'm here to help people move forward. So I was terrified of my purpose. I was terrified to do this. I was terrified to give up. Good morning, Angela. I was terrified to give up what I knew to go into this unknown. But I took a leap of faith. This was not easy. It took me 4 to 5 months of going back and forth, sitting and crying and trying to understand myself and feel what I was feeling. And every part of me was screaming to do this. But the fear in me was like, Aisha, you can't. What if you fail? You have this business that you've built for 10 years. What if you fail? You got to start from scratch. And I thought, you know what? No, I can't do this for other people if I can't do this for myself. I can't help other people into their purpose if I can't get into my purpose. So I took a leap of faith. I took a huge leap of faith. I listened to my energy. I listened to what my body was telling me. And I said, okay, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to do this. My mind is going to be completely into this. And I did it. Was it like a complete, the next day my practice was full? No. I had to do some things to try and fill it up. But eventually, in a very short time, things changed. Good morning, Lisbeth. So things changed. So to step into your purpose, the first thing you need to do is say yes. You need to take your obstacles and your fears and put them aside and allow yourself to see that path. Allow yourself to let that path begin to show itself. You may not know what the outcome is going to be. You may not know what you need to do next yet. But first, you need to be able to start to have some faith in yourself and say, just let me imagine. Just let myself go there. Let me go into that space, that playground of my imagination, and put all fears and obstacles aside and say, what is my purpose? If I could snap my fingers, what do I feel like I could do for this world? How would I make a massive impact in my own life and the lives of others? One of the questions you can ask yourself, if it's not becoming clear to you, so I'm not just going to leave you hanging there, right? So one of the things that you can ask yourself is, when do I feel the most fulfilled? Good morning, Haiti. So when do I feel the most fulfilled? So think in your life. Think of the creative things that you've done, the fun things that you've done, the challenges that you've taken on throughout your life. When did you feel most fulfilled? Maybe it was some things that you were experiencing, somebody else was taking you through. When did I feel most fulfilled? What made me feel really good that I've done in my life? That could be part of what you are going to bring into this path. So start asking yourself those questions. When have I felt the most fulfilled in my life? And be honest with yourself. Honesty is huge. But remember, honesty and the word yes. Take no, put it out of your mind. If you think that you can't, then you must. If you think that you can't do something, then you must do it. There's no such thing as can't. That should just be taken right out of the English vocabulary. There is no such thing as can't. And then I've also heard, good morning, Tina. I've also heard people saying, I've tried everything to find my purpose. I'm going to say this to you now, and it's going to sound a little bit harsh, but here we go. If you say you've tried everything, you are lying. Because if you tried everything, you would have found it. If you've tried everything, you would have found it. Okay? So maybe you tried a lot of things, but you didn't try everything. Okay? You didn't try everything. When do I feel the most fulfilled? When do I feel extraordinary? We've all had those moments. Maybe not a lot of them, but you've had those moments. You've had those hints. You've had those moments where you felt good. Even if it was just for a small, short amount of time. But there were things that you love to do. Think about all the things that you love to do. Maybe it's being creative in some way. Maybe you are a painter. Maybe, you have some great skills with music. Think about all the things that you know how to do. All the things that make you feel fulfilled and feel good. And I can pretty much guarantee you that there is a way to bring those things into your purpose. Maybe if you're really good with music, part of what you're supposed to be doing is working with sound. Good morning, Helen. There's so many things that you can do with sound. Who knows, right? Maybe you're supposed to bring music into this world. So there are things that you can be doing. You just need to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to take this up a level. I'm going to take this up a level. I want to be better at this. If what you do every single day does not bring you joy, and joy is not something you can plan for, okay? Joy is something that's in this moment only. So if what you're doing doesn't bring you joy every day, if what you're doing doesn't make you feel fulfilled and feel good about yourself, and feel like you're really contributing in some way to this world. You don't have to be someone who heals people. So don't get yourself in there, because we heal people in many ways. We heal people with our art. We heal people with our music. We heal people by making beautiful pieces of clothing for them. There's lots of ways to contribute to humanity. You don't have to be a coach or the next Tony Robbins, or you don't have to do that. It could be something completely different. Just you are only limited by your own limitations. You're only limited by your own blocks that you put into place. Because we are without limit. The only limits that we have are the limits that we put on ourselves. Okay. So just thinking about that. Good morning, Hillary. So when you answer the questions of how I feel fulfilled, when have I felt extraordinary in my life, that I'm going to put all my fears aside for a moment, I'm going to say yes to whatever shows up for me in my playground, in my imagination, you might start to realize that your purpose has always been evident to you. You've just been afraid to look at it because you thought that you weren't good enough. That is a big issue for people. That is a big struggle, a big challenge for many people. And you are not alone in that, in saying that I'm not enough. But you are. You are more than enough. Good morning, Jenny. So you have to let ego go and allow yourself to be inspired and allow yourself to be in spirit. And that word that I always like to bring up is enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasm. Entheos is that Greek word for the God within me. These are not words. We say things sometimes, like we go to yoga and we'll say namaste. How many of you know what namaste means? Do you just say it to say it? Or do you actually know what it means? And do you feel the words? Can you feel the words, the meaning of namaste in your gut? The divine in me sees the divine in you. Or do you just end your thing and say namaste and you don't even know why you said it? Have you ever looked in someone's eyes and looked for the divine in them? So allow yourself to be inspired. Allow yourself to notice the divine in yourself. And when you can do that and take everything else out of the way, just for a moment, just set it all aside, your path will start to become evident for you. Will you need to do some healing work? Maybe. I did. I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing without doing some work first. Did I need to take some courses? Yep. Did I need to go to some workshops? Absolutely. Okay. I needed to prepare myself for my path. Okay. Some of you may not even need to do all that stuff, but I did. I did. And I felt myself grow. So part of us is allowing ourselves to grow and learn and not stay stuck in the situation that we're in, especially if we don't feel good about it. Okay. If you are feeling a fulfilled life, if you are feeling good about what you're doing every day, you never feel stuck. The opportunities show themselves to you. The path starts to fall into place. The next part of my purpose is to do these workshops in different countries. I was scared. How am I going to deal with other countries? I don't know what to do. I got to deal with their money and their currency, and I don't know what's going to happen. And how do I trust these people? And I had all those fears, right? But the minute I said, I got this, and yes, I'm doing it, and yes, I'm going to put this out there, and I've got Awakening the Mastery coming in Tuscany in September, and I'm like, this is amazing. Everything I need has fallen into place. I need a videographer. I just thought about it. Man, I should really have a videographer and someone to take pictures. Boom. The next day, I had one. She came to me. I'm having a conversation with someone and they are the videographer. Oh, I need someone to do some sound healing and some yoga in the morning. Wham. Showed up for me. When you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, everything starts to fall into your path. You just need to think about it and it shows up. That's how you know you're walking your path. That's how you know you are in your purpose, because now there's no obstacles and everything is coming. If someone told me this before I actually did it, I might have been like, right, whatever. I would have been that person, that skeptical person. But experiencing it, not only when I left my old business and started my practice, not only when I've started, every time I make a choice, I have learned that if things are not moving in the right direction, then that's not the right choice for me. I plan this workshop and everything is falling into place. You start to feel the feeling. It's an awesome feeling. So Record some of the events in your life. So just taking note or watch this video again, save this video and watch it, because these are some of the things that I want you to think about. Number one, I want you to record some events in your life where you felt inspired. Record some events in your life where you felt inspired. Good morning to everybody who has jumped into the podcast. Hi, Deepak and Jane. So record some events in your life where you felt inspired. Don't judge them as being insignificant. All right. Don't just put your judgment aside. Right now, what we want to do is record some of those events. Okay. So just giving that some thought, journal some of that. Okay. Number two, find out where, find out who in the world might be doing some of the things that you've been thinking about. Who in the world is out there already doing something similar to what you've been thinking about, what you've been dreaming about, what you think your purpose might be? Okay, go find someone. Someone's probably already doing it, all right, or doing something close to it. Go see what they're doing, okay? Whatever you love to do can be turned into a project. Whatever you love to do. I love to teach. I love it. You know, I came into 2020 saying, I am going to start teaching more. I love teaching. Turn what you love into something that you can actually do and allow your consciousness and to expand with it. As if there are no obstacles. Allow yourself that. Say yes to it. Okay. 3, listen to your voice, the voice within you that tells you to do that thing, and ignore the one that says don't. The word don't is an interesting word. If we were all sitting in the room and there was a great big pink elephant in the room and I said, don't look at the pink elephant, everybody would look at the pink elephant. You know, with children, don't pick your nose, and they do it. Don't seems to actually empower something. Okay. So do not allow the word don't or can't to come into your mind, because you can. You just have to find the way. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You've got this. Okay. You've got this. So be inspired from within. Allow yourself to be inspired from within. We live a lot of our lives out here in the external. You need to spend some time in here. This is your house, not the one that you live in. That's the building. That's a place where you reside, but that is not your house. This is your house. Your body is your house. You need to go inside sometimes. Okay, you need to go inside and find all the good stuff in there because it's full of good stuff. You just have to find it. Number 4, it's time to break the bonds. This one can be difficult, and this is the one where you need to sometimes reach out and get a coach like me or someone that you know that can help you break the bonds. Sometimes we're all caught up in our own stuff and it's hard for us to break the bonds. That doesn't mean that you're a failure. That doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. That means that you maybe sometimes you're trying to go it alone and you need some help. And that's okay to ask for help. That's why we are so many of us on this planet. We're not meant to be alone. Okay. So break the bonds of how you've been conditioned about yourself and your life's purpose. Don't let someone else decide your life's purpose for you. Just because your dad did something doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because someone else does something doesn't mean that you have to do it. You are not obligated to follow anyone's path. That's their path. That's not your path. And it's okay to say, no, I don't want to do that. This is what I want to do. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, because if you feel good inside about it, if you feel empowered by it, if you feel like in your gut it says yes, then that's the path you want to take. You know, you need to be able to do it, and you can do it smart. No one's asking you to go into starvation to go live your path, you know, and trying to figure it out. there's steps that you take to get there to make sure that you're okay along the way, but you need to follow your gut. You need to follow your path or not. But the funny thing is, I've talked to a lot of people who are more elderly, and good morning, Tamra. And a lot of them, most of them, have a lot of regret. I wish I had done this. I wish I had I followed my inspiration. I wish I had have done this other thing. And you see this sort of longing, their eyes kind of drift off somewhere and their mind has gone somewhere because they're thinking about what they could have been, what they could have done. And in speaking with these people, they were the ones that sort of gave me that strength to say, I don't want to be that. I don't want to sit down when I'm 75, 80, 85 years old and have this longing in me of things that I could have done and didn't. So allow yourself to find your purpose. Allow yourself to find your path. And if you need help, then reach out. Then reach out for help. I help people with this all the time. And if I don't resonate with you, maybe someone else does. But you need to do this for yourself. It's important. It matters. And you have something to offer the world. You do have something to offer the world and make an impact on your own life and the lives of others. And this is how this world becomes a better place. This is how we honor this planet and all of humanity, is by finding our purpose. Oh, just saying that, just put goosebumps all over me. So be true to yourself. And don't worry about those fears. Those fears are someone like me can help you with those fears. Someone like me can help you with those obstacles that are in your way. But allow yourself to live what you want to live and why you came here. Don't just keep asking yourself, why am I here? Find out. Okay? So have a great day, guys. Give it some thought. I gave you some steps to start and see how that resonates with you. And I would love to hear from you. So comment, question, follow me, send me texts. I am okay with that on Messenger, through Facebook. Send me comments through my podcast. I want to hear from you. Okay, so if you have any questions about anything that I have said today, please feel free to contact me. Have a great day. I love you guys. I love the support that you guys give me, and I am so appreciative and grateful for it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.